Hello friends, I am Nancy with Simply Quilting, and I thought I would just give a little update on some of the things that I've been working on. I've started putting some of my little 4 patches from my leader ender container together into blocks, red, whites, and blues. Let me show you those. So here are my little 4 patches put together. I have 9 of these in each block, which makes about a 9-inch, it'll be a 9-inch finished block. So I've got that one. They're not all the same, but they all do have the red running through the middle, and then a blue on each side, and then a red on each side of that. Some of the backgrounds are different, and even some of those are different. So that's those. I've got 4 of those made. And what I'm doing on these is when I'm doing my leader enders, I just sew 2 together, either the blue and white or the red and white. And then when I get these kind of full, I will take them and turn them into little 4 patches like this and put them in this back bin. And then when it gets full, I will start putting those together into blocks. These are 2-inch squares that I'm making these from. So like last night I came out, I just had about an hour to sew, and so I just worked on these. Just kind of mind calming to do something like this. Therapeutic, you might say. So that was the first thing I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to show you one of my finishes. Okay, this is my flower basket quilt that you saw me working on at some point, I'm sure. I believe I might have been just piecing the flower baskets together the last time I showed you this. Well, now it is completely finished. It's quilted and bound. Let me just kind of go over some of the parts and pieces of this. So I had, let's see, I think I had 12 flower baskets. So I have 3 of those in each row. But then in between those, I made these little pinwheels. So between each row, there are 2 pinwheels. You can see there. And I just put those on a wide sashing. I think it was like a 6-inch sashing. 6.5, 6 finished. So I have 3 sashing pieces here and 2 pinwheels on that row. And then on the rows with the flower baskets, I just alternated. Let me come down here. It's kind of upside down, but I alternated the the flower baskets. So if I put one going this direction, then I put the other one going that direction, and then the opposite direction. And then there's a vertical sashing in between there, 6-inch ones. And as you can see, that makes my pinwheels and my sashings go vertically, and then of course they go horizontally between the 2 rows of flower baskets. Okay, here we go. It's right side up now. So I do call this custom quilting. As you can see, there aren't too many places on this quilt that do not have quilting in them. But let me just kind of show you how I did the flower baskets first. Let's find one here that I can focus in on. Okay, let's look at this one. So what I did was I just made little flowers where all the little small triangles were. And then on these, they just look like they're a flower peeking out of the vase. And then in the vases and in the borders, I just did paisleys because I took that from the fabric itself. Now let me show you the back. Use this really pretty pink on the back, sort of a pastel pink. It might not show up that color on the video, but it is pink, and you can see the quilting really well in that. So I guess that's about it. I used a 6-inch border going around the whole thing. My binding, I just used the same binding as is on the backing. I used the part of the backing that was left over for that. So that's about it for the flower basket quilt. This makes the second quilt that I've finished, I believe. The jewel box quilt was the first one, and I believe I have a video that showed that one finished. Do you want to check that out? It was in my last WIP update video. So let me see if I can show you what else I've been working on. So here is the Paris quilt. I haven't gotten any rows put together yet. I have quite a few of them done. I do love the way these are turning out. There's a lot of blocks here. Okay, those are all the ones that are finished, I believe. And then these are all the ones that are still in process. Some of them are almost finished. And some of them are not quite to that point. But I plan on working on these this week and seeing how many more I can get done. I've kind of got them stacked up with their extra fabric next to the ones that they go with. That one just fell out. Okay, so that's that. And I was at Walmart the other day and I found these the Waverly 100% cotton 1 yard packages. It's all about Paris also. So I thought, wouldn't that be cute for a border on this? So I got 2 yards of this. I've already got a backing with postage stamps all over it, so I don't need a backing. But I thought this might be really cute for the borders. I was surprised to find that at Walmart, but usually every time I go, I'll walk down the fabric aisle just to see if there's anything new that I haven't noticed before or since I was there the last time. And lo and behold, this was there. So I'm excited about that. I could even make more blocks out of this if I wanted to, but I don't think I'm going to need it. I save these little things to wrap my binding around, or small pieces of fabric. So that's that. This is the book that it came out, my idea came from. For those who haven't seen it yet, let me just show you which one it is. This is a big book of patchwork, 50 Fabulous Quilts, Judy Hopkins. here's the idea. Nope, that's not it. Let's see. It was the Jordan River, but where is it? Huh. I thought I had it marked. Okay. Here it is. The Jordan River. Of course, mine's a little different. I used AccuQuilt to cut mine out, so it's a little bit different size and everything. And the coloring is different. But that's the pattern. So there's that. Here's my leftovers so far. So that can all be just set aside because I'm going to be working on that here in just a little bit. Now let me see. Some things I cannot show because they are a surprise. But I can show you this. So I don't buy a lot of pre-cuts, but I saw this on Amazon. And it's 100% cotton, and it feels, I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's a jelly roll, of course. It feels like it's pretty nice fabrics, and they're all florals of different kinds. So I thought this would be really cute to make for sashing on some of my quilts. Just all different kinds of florals. And it feels really soft. And it is 100% cotton. I always check to make sure everything's 100% cotton. Because with Amazon especially, they can trick you. They can say cotton and then it'll be so much cotton, so much poly. So now I've opened it. Can I get it back together? I might just lay it out flat in one of my containers to get it all done. Okay, so there's that cute little thing. And let me see what else I can find to show that I have worked on. I have another WIP that I pulled out. And there's a story with this. Well, with both of these things, actually. I'll show you this one first. So, I have two great-grandchildren, my eldest two great-grandchildren, that a few years ago they decided that they wanted to, either they decided or their mother and I decided, I can't remember for sure which, that they seemed interested in wanting to make a quilt. So their mother bought the fabric and everything, and we got together and I helped them cut out their little squares and everything. And they kind of lost interest, and so these baskets, these tubs of their little blocks that they had made and their extra fabric just kind of sat around for a while, at least a year, I would say. And so finally Mom brought the things to me and said, you know what, I don't think we're going to finish our quilts. Would you like to finish them for us? And I said, yes, I definitely will finish them for you. So I've made some Care Bear patterns, blocks. Some of them, honestly, I had to rip out the seams and redo them because the seams were just too big, but that's okay. It was a learning process, and I'm hoping that when they see these finished, maybe later on, they will decide to go ahead and start sewing again. But if they don't, at least they'll have a cute quilt. Alright, so I made several blocks of these and remade a few of the blocks on those. And now I'll show you the other one. This was a granddaughter. The other one is a grandson, great-grandson and granddaughter. So here's his. And of course, like most boys, he is into gaming and characters and all of that kind of stuff. I guess the Care Bears are too. But He's into all of these little characters and things. I don't even know all of their names, but they have all this fabric that they got, and some of them we got cut out into blocks. There's some Pokemon, I guess, or some of these. I do know that name. And can't remember what that little guy's name is. I used to know it, though. Y'all are probably saying what it is right now. So let me show you where we are with that. There's a lot of fabric there. Here's a lot of squares. But he did have, he's a little bit older than she is. So he did have 4 of these big blocks made. And his seams were pretty good. So I thought, I don't really want to just finish it in blocks, but I do want to use his big blocks. These are like 18 inches. So I decided that I would make some big stars to go with these blocks as an alternate block. So let me show you how those turned out. I'm not sure if I finished those. Did I? Yes. Let's see. Well, I made a couple of them anyway. Here they are. So there's a couple of stars. There's that one. And here's the other one. And there, I made them the same size as his. And then I have with my leftovers from making these stars. Okay, these stars are the ones that Lori Holt makes, called the crisscross stars, where you don't have to worry about losing points. But you also have leftover half square triangles from the trimming. I'm going to make 2 more of these, so we'll have 4 of these and 4 of the big block square blocks. But then with that leftover, those leftover half square triangles, I started making some pinwheels that I will work in somehow to a block. So far I've got 4 of these made from the leftovers from those 2 stars. So with every one of these big stars, I get 2 of these that I can make pinwheels out of. So I guess we'll have 3 different types of blocks. We'll have pinwheel blocks, star blocks, and blocks with squares. So I'm working on that off and on, just when I feel like it. See, I don't have a tub big enough to put this in, so I'm just folding it over and putting it in my project bag here. We'll put that back away for right now. I think that's about all that I've worked on. I showed my update on Jessica's quilt along for blocks 12, for blocks 11 and 12, and now she has 13 and 14 and 15 and 16 just came out today, so I still need to do 13 and 14 and 15 and 16. So after I get this video made up and put out there with all of my information about my works in progress, I will get busy on Jessica's blocks again, because I really want to finish this quilt along. Hopefully I can do that. So anyway, I'm glad that you could join me today, and thanks for coming along on the quilt along, those of you who are watching it. And yeah, I guess that's about it for today. So y'all have a very blessed day, and I'll see you next time.